Nipples, Boob Tube, and Private Parts. It's episode 51. And I promise, it is family friendly.
It's the Brainiac Top 10 and 10. Here's the owner of Brainiac Trivia, John Boyce, and his favorite 10 questions of the week.
Hope you're well, guys. Last week I hosted 10 trivia games, and these are my favorite 10 questions in 10 minutes or less, with the answer 10 seconds after the question.
Number 10.
Geography kicking us off at number 10. Tennessee is tied with what other state with the most borders? Bordering Iowa, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Nebraska, Missouri is the right answer.
Number 9.
Music at number 9, and number 8 for that matter. What future country music Hall of Famer gave the Big Bopper his seat on the ill-fated flight that claimed the lives of the Big Bopper, Ritchie Valens, and Buddy Holly? What future country music Hall of Famer gave the Big Bopper his seat on the ill-fated flight that claimed the lives of the Big Bopper, Ritchie Valens, and Buddy Holly? Well, the day the music died, the Big Bopper, Ritchie Valens, and Buddy Holly were all lost, and we almost lost Waylon Jennings as well.
Number 8.
Sticking to music at number 8, what American rock band caused an uproar when, on their 1993 album, they had a hidden track of a Charles Manson song, later sending all royalties of the song to the son of one of the victims of Manson? What American rock band caused an uproar when their 1993 album contained a hidden Charles Manson song, which they later sent royalties to the son of one of the victims of Manson? The name of the song is Look at Your Game, Girl. It's from the album The Spaghetti Incident, the band Guns N' Roses.
Number 7.
True crime at number 7. What a segue. In 1962, 3 men famously escaped Alcatraz prison. They boarded a homemade raft and were never found. The raft was mostly made of what? Back in 62, 3 men famously escaped from Alcatraz prison. They boarded a homemade raft and were never found. Their raft was mostly made of what? Their raft was made of over 50 raincoats. The ingenuity of prisoners never ceases to amaze.
Number 6.
Health and medical at number 6. I'm going to give you a heads up on this one. This one has recently changed. According to the American Society of Plastic Surgeons, in 2022, what was the most popular cosmetic surgery in the United States? According to the American Society of Plastic Surgeons, in 2022, what was the most popular cosmetic surgery in the U.S.? For years, this list was dominated by breast enhancements. However, it is now liposuction. So the most popular plastic surgery in America today is liposuction.
Number 5.
Multiple choice. Polyphilia, that's P-O-L-Y-T-H-E-L-I-A. Polyphilia is a medical term used to describe someone who has extra what? Toes, nipples, or fingers. Polyphilia is a medical term used to describe someone who has extra what? Toes, nipples, or fingers. Polyphilia means you have an extra nipple.
Giggity.
Number 4.
Fact or crap here at number 4. Abraham Lincoln's bodyguard was next door at a bar when he was assassinated. Fact or crap. Abraham Lincoln's bodyguard was next door at a bar when Lincoln was assassinated. Fact or crap.
That's the fact, Jack! That's the fact!
Indeed it is. John Frederick Parker was his name. Now, this cannot be confirmed, but some reports say he even had a drink with John Wilkes Booth.
Number 3.
Going back to multiple choice, Edward Gibbon Wakefield is considered one of the founders of which country, despite being imprisoned for 3 years for kidnapping a 15-year-old girl? Australia, New Zealand, or Fiji? Edward Gibbon Wakefield is considered one of the founders of which country, despite being in prison for 3 years for kidnapping a 15-year-old girl? Australia, New Zealand, or Fiji? Edward Gibbon Wakefield once spent 3 years in jail for kidnapping a 15-year-old girl. Today, he is considered a founder of New Zealand. It seems so odd because it's like the only negative thing I've ever heard about New Zealand.
Number 2.
Entertainment for this one. During a 1965 episode of what popular television series is it believed that the term boob tube was used for the first time in reference to television? During a 1965 episode of what popular television series is it believed that the term boob tube was used for the first time in reference to a television? The Munsters. And that makes complete sense for some reason, because the Munsters were awesome.
Number 1.
Number 1.
It's a mystery.
History for this one. While on a diplomatic trip to Poland, what U.S. president's translator turned the president's statement of, "I am happy to be in Poland," to, "I am happy to grasp at Poland's private parts"? While on a diplomatic trip to Poland, what U.S. president's translator turned the president's statement of, "I am happy to be in Poland," to, "I am happy to grasp at Poland's private parts"? The one, the only, Jimmy Carter. So in a speech given during the president's 1977 visit to Poland, he appeared to express sexual desire for the then communist country, or at least that's what the interpreter said. Anyway, it turned out Carter had said he wanted to learn about the Polish people's desires for the future. Now, earning a place in history, his interpreter also turned "I left the United States this morning" into "I left the United States never to return," according to Time magazine. Even the innocent statement that Carter was happy to be in Poland became the claim that he was happy to grasp at Poland's private parts. Now, unsurprisingly, the president used a different interpreter when he gave a toast at a state banquet later in the same trip. But his woes didn't really end there. After delivering his first line, Carter paused just to be met with silence. After another line, again, silence. The new interpreter, who could not understand the president's English, had decided his best policy was to just be quiet. By the time Carter's trip ended, he had become quite the punchline for many a Polish joke, which is kind of funny in itself. If you'd like to become a supporter of the podcast, click on the link in the bio. Nothing expected, everything. Trivia is more fun in person, so also in the bio of this episode, check out my current weekly schedule, as well as links to my social media and website. Thanks for listening, guys. I'm John Boyce, and this has been the Brainiac Trivia Top 10 in 10.
Don't nobody go in the bathroom for about 35, 45 minutes. Somebody open the window.